Okay, it looks like we're recording. Welcome the Maxines.
Hi.
Yeah, I'm so excited. So we're gonna get to the show last night. Amazing. Like blew my mind. But we're gonna get to that and how you perform and all the good stuff. First, why don't you introduce yourselves to the audience? Whoever wants to start.
We will just go this way.
We're all the Maxines.
Yeah.
I'm Maddie and I play guitar.
I'm AJ. I'm the vocalist.
I'm Coco. I'm the drummer.
I'm Emma. I'm the bassist.
Awesome. So I will say that I tend to say nice after you guys say stuff. I've seen in other videos. I go like, oh, nice. And like, I swear to God, I say nice. I'm really unqualified to do this. But
well, okay. It's a nice thing to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a nice thing to say. Thank you. Oh, that's so nice. So, okay. So tell me, how did the Maxines form? Like, how did you guys get together? Are you from in a network together of, what's that network called where join my band, or there's almost like a Craigslist of like
my God,
loose band members who are just like hovering somewhere and they say, okay, I'm going to go join that band. How did you guys form?
Well, Coco and I are twins, so we already knew each other, which is helpful.
That's nice.
And
you weren't like reunited at like age 20, but you grew up together, twins. Nice.
But we had a mutual friend between the four of us and our original bassist that basically put us in a group chat on Instagram and said, we're starting a band. That's how it happened for us. But I know, AJ, you already knew Veronica.
Yeah, I knew Veronica from work. And I got back from a trip going out west, and I wanted to start a band, and I had tried in the past to start a band, and nothing ever really succeeded. So I was like, okay, after like hiking and all those beautiful areas and seeing all those beautiful landscapes, I was like, okay, I'm going to try one more time. And this time it's going to be with all women. And so I knew that Veronica, our original bassist, was in a band, or is still in a band. And I reached out to her and I was like, hey, so do you know any female musicians who might want to start a band? And she was like, yeah, can I play bass? And I was like, yeah, totally. And then like we knew Maya,
which was the mutual friend.
Yeah. I worked with Maya, and then me and Maddie knew each other.
Yeah.
As we said.
And Maya added Coco and Maddie into like a group chat into Instagram, which me and Veronica had like already kind of started. And so it would just kind of like came together really well.
And the mutual friend didn't end up staying in the band. She was with us for a couple practices, but she just got busy and couldn't be in the band anymore. So the four of us stayed together and we just kind of picked a couple covers we wanted to play. And
just to kind of find common music, like common genres and stuff.
Figure out how to play together and stuff. So we're very lucky.
How do you figure out your genre? Like, I mean, that's got to be really difficult to say, all right, this is what we're going to be. I imagine like punk bands, you're punk like from day one. But if anything other than that, I mean, you could, because you probably draw from your individual experiences and you're like, well, we could be Southern rock, we could be alt grunge, and but honestly, I've got a difficult time genre pinning you all. So I still don't
like
think that it's a settled, or you stay genre bending, right? You flex wherever you want to go.
Yeah, we have a lot of different influences, so it kind of comes through in different songs. We'll have a heavier one or like a lighter one or whatever.
Well, I don't know if you got any lighter ones.
Lighter.
Relative, maybe.
Compared to the other ones.
Right. So, and you're from Savannah, Georgia. Are you all originally from Savannah?
No.
No. I'm from North Carolina originally.
Oh, yeah, where?
I'm from Wilmington, North Carolina, actually, and then I lived in Raleigh for about 10 years. I went to like Leesville Road High School. Like,
Oh, wow, cool.
Yeah.
So you know
Coco and
this
I are
area.
from,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Coco and I are from Canada originally.
Canucks.
Yeah.
yeah.
Nice.
We like the weather down in Savannah a little bit better, so we moved.
Oh
Emma,
my
where are
God,
you?
yeah.
I'm from here, but I was born in Ohio. But
I didn't know
Yeah.
that.
don't remember any of that.
I
Right
guess
on,
we should
see-
say how Emma joined the band too.
Yeah.
Oh,
absolutely.
The original band was us three and Veronica, and then recently Veronica left to focus on her other band, or for her original
Yeah.
band, which is her and her partner. So she's focusing on that, and then me and Maddie knew Emma from work, and we've become closer friends. And she's a female bassist, so we're like, want to join the Maxines?
Perfect.
That's pretty perfect.
Yep.
And last night was her
So-
first show with us, and she killed
And
it.
she crushed it.
She did kill it. She did kill
Thank
it.
you.
So where
Crushed
do
it.
y'all? I mean, I can cut anything out. So if you don't want to answer anything, or you answer something, you're like, maybe we shouldn't have said that. It's quite all right. But where do you all work that it's with a bunch of musicians, like at a music shop? I mean,
The three
I mean,
of us
there's a
worked
lot
at-
of musicians in Savannah.
There-
Like you just
there
kind of
are.
randomly work
Yeah.
with somebody that is already in a band, which is really cool.
Or plays an instrument.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the
It's really
three
cool.
of us, me and Emma and Maddie, worked at the Landings Club on Skidaway Island in Savannah.
Just a
it's
country
like a
club.
Yeah, a country club.
Yeah.
So we worked in the restaurants, and
Nice.
I think we just got lucky that we all met each other, and that we met Maya, the original guitarist, I guess, or the one
Yeah.
who formed the band, kind of helped us
Mhm.
form the band. We just
Right.
got really lucky because there were some musicians, but not that many people our age, really.
Yeah.
So we just got really lucky that we all connected.
yeah. So I noticed that in a lot of the bands who are in Dinger Zoo. I mean, I only think there's probably a dozen of the. I think we're up to like 120 bands. So only like 10% are doing band full time, right? They're all something else.
Yeah.
And so it's interesting to see what those occupations are. And a lot of them are ones where you can take extended periods off and your job isn't going to fire you because, they've got some huge gap in like your talent. So that must be a real struggle.
Yeah.
Finding
I
the
had to
right
fight
type
for
of,
my job.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it was pretty easy for me to get time off, but yeah, for Emma, it wasn't quite as easy.
No.
Gotta fight for it sometimes.
Yeah.
Gotta fight for the work. Gotta fight for the art.
It's really
Gotta do
honest-
it. Dive in.
It's that's the struggle, right? Being a band in this day and age, it's not like you're pulling a lot of money off of Spotify spins, right? Or when you go to a gig, most times you're paying to play at the gig, and then it's like you said last night, pulling the merch. That's probably the your highest, and I hate to put it in business terms, but you want the bands to be able to survive to make their music. So
Yeah.
I mean, that's how you support them, is through their merch.
And
that's
we
the
just
highest
put all
work.
our money back into the band so that we can do photo shoots or like for recording and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe someday we can do music full time. But for
Yeah.
now,
Wow.
we be line cooks and stuff.
Well, we're gonna get to that because as I said last night, I think you guys have something very special. So we're gonna get there though.
Thank you.
So, tell me about the album. I really would love to know how the album came to be. How far into the band maturity until you all said, "Hey, I think we've got an album in us that we can like really put it together." Because you guys have only been together for a couple of years, right?
Yeah.
So to go from that to a full released album, which is awesome. And I should tell everyone who's listening, I'm a Maxine in terms of
Yeah.
being a fan. But so I'm completely sold. But so if you could just tell me, like, how did the album come about and what was the process of putting it together?
Whew.
Well, remember
What?
after
You
after we
asked-
did our first show, we just played 3 covers, and we kind of decided after that show we were like, okay, are we gonna write original music or are we gonna be a cover band? And we were like, we want to write original music. So
Yeah.
I think the next month we wrote our first single, which is the title track of the album, "Skin Tight." That was our very first single that we wrote together, and since then we've been doing, I guess, like every 2 months we write a song
On average, yeah.
Yeah, like in between practicing for shows and like taking practices to write music, we came up with those 9 songs.
Just kind of starts with coming up with a riff or AJ having like
An
lyrics
idea
in
for
mind,
lyrics or a melody.
sending like song references back and forth, and then just coming together for band practice and getting the song done.
Yeah.
Mhm, putting everything together, yeah.
But we definitely intended like
From the start, we decided we wanted
Yeah.
to, like, our goal was to make an album.
Yeah.
So
And
it's
we
just-
we're so hungry to write. Like right now we're just like, oh my God, whenever we get home, we're going to take January off and we're just going to like
Write music.
go into a cave somewhere
Yeah.
and we're just going to like hunker down
like trying
and
to focus
write
on
new
tour,
music.
but
We
we
have-
keep writing music.
We have so many new songs that are like on the back burner that we
Yeah.
just haven't touched because we've been so focused on this album release. So, oh man, we're gonna like God, go crazy whenever we get back
Album.
home writing new music. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, well, so that's, first of all, it's amazing to hear that for that Skin Tight, one of my favorite tracks off of the album is your first one, and you guys just like, okay, well, we were just gonna put this song together, and then every 2 months we come up with another great song, and I've listened to that album, I would say 40 times, like, since I think you joined the group, what was it, like only like 3 or 4 weeks ago. So
Yeah.
so it's one of my gym albums that I listen to. But
Oh,
so
yay. Oh my God, yes. Oh, I love
and
that.
yeah,
That's awesome.
and so like I know that you guys haven't been together all that long. But when I hear it, I think, wow, I mean, there's so much core talent in this music.
Thank
Like,
you.
how is it? And look, I listen now as the leader of a fake religion based on rock music, whose job is to like recruit bands into the religion. I tell you that I come across a lot of not awesome music. But when I think how you got into the group is Jordan, from one of the guitarists from It Had to Be Snakes, posted in the group and said, "How are the Maxines not in Dingier Zoo?" So, and he knows that that's going to set me off and that I'm going to go check you out. And I was like, oh,
Yeah.
thank God Jordan did not bring us a dirt bag. So I liked you immediately. So I'm so, but it's so jarring for me to hear that, that you guys just pump these songs out, and I'm just like, I'm aghast, I guess is what I'm saying at the process.
Skin Tight definitely took a while to write. We have a couple songs that we've kind of rewritten, like a couple songs we've played live, and then
Completely
we get back to the
reloaded.
next practice and we're like, that didn't feel like us. Let's rewrite that completely. So not every song is just go to practice with the riff and come up with it right away. A lot
Some of them
songs-
are.
Some of them
Some of them
are.
are
together really
though.
fast.
Yeah.
But Skin Tight definitely took us a while. Like we overcomplicated some parts, but it sounds really cool. It
Yeah.
ended up working out, but yeah.
So
It takes-
give me an
some of them take a
example of
little
one
bit
of
of
those songs. Give me an example, Maddie, of one of those songs that was near perfect from the beginning.
Ooh,
I feel like Scum
Scum, yeah.
came pretty fast. I don't know why that one was just the one that felt the most natural, and we were writing it. It just came together really well. And we were like, oh, what if we did the guitar solo there, and then it just fit perfectly. And then he said, oh, what if we bring the bridge down, and it just fit perfectly. I feel like we played around with a couple of ideas, but I feel like for the most part
Came together pretty fast.
Scum came together pretty fast. Yeah.
So, see, I didn't say nice.
Excellent.
So I'm willing to reveal my favorite track from the album. And I haven't played it on the show yet because I'm saving it. So as soon as you announce that your second album is in the works, that's when I'm going to play it on the show because but The Watcher, and so if we can go into the show, last night's show a bit, and I don't know if you've watched any of the YouTube that I posted, but as soon as I heard you, AJ, say, oh, I guess I start off.
Oh, I started this one. Can't get you
Oh my God. This one. And when you start singing, I start screaming. And yeah, I've got a pretty loud voice. Well, 21 years in the military, you have to develop a loud voice. But oh my God, it's like you're singing to me, like, and hopefully it's not ill-intended. Like you're not, but I feel it. And yeah, so so can you tell me what The Watcher's about?
Ooh, it's juicy. Yeah, so The Watcher is about being addicted to social media.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it's like I wanted the song to kind of sound drone-like, to sound like hypnotic, to sound obsessive,
Like
kind of dreamy, creepy,
well.
you know,
It's like
because
The Watcher.
like social media, like it is creepy. Like you can post on your story and tell people where you're at and exactly when you're there, what you're eating, what you're doing, and anyone can look at it. Anyone can see what you're doing and where you're at any point in time if you share it. And
you're willingly letting
sharing
everyone know
with a bunch of people you don't know.
Yeah. And this whole idea of like can't get you out of my head, it's just day-to-day life. We're constantly thinking about, oh, I could post that on social media, I could post that on our story, oh, that would be a cute photo, that would be, it's like this constant in the back of our head, social media, you know. I'm all alone in my bed. I mean, a lot of the time, when I check social media, I'm in my bed and I'm like about to go to sleep, or I wake up in the morning and grab my phone.
But you're like, I need to know what everyone else is doing right now. That's part of it too. Is like everyone else is watching you, but you're also, I feel the need to go see what everybody else is doing all the time.
Like I want to watch other people. Like what are other people doing? You know, and like, do I seem likable? I mean, that seems kind of obvious, like liking a photo or something. And then, I don't know, am I desirable?
You had me fooled. I thought it was about a stalker.
Yeah. Well, that's what I wanted, though. I wanted it to not be. Yeah. Like I wanted it to be, to sound creepy like that. Because it kind of is. It kind of is like that.
Like when you look at it, imagining it stalking people, you're like, yeah, that is kind of what's going on. It is just like everyone's stalking each other.
Yeah. And that's exactly, I'm so happy that was, like, I've gotten that response before, like, oh, I thought it was about a stalker. Oh, I thought it was about, like, that was like watching someone from across the room, or like, you know, and I'm like, that's exactly what I wanted.
So, you know, there's so much, I mean, we could go on for hours talking about how evil social media is, which is a little hypocritical because if social media
yeah.
didn't exist, I would not be able to have started this fake religion.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's almost completely dependent on social media.
Yeah.
Like the one requirement is that you join my Facebook group. And I hate social media. I mean, I have 4 kids that grew up in that social media era. I still have my youngest, my 16-year-old daughter, who is great. But I mean, she's full blown. The 3 boys, they've effectively abandoned social media, which I don't know if I had anything to do with that or not. But whatever, I'm happy about it. But my daughter especially, has really felt the brunt of how evil it is. But in other ways, it can be really great. Like the one
Yeah,
part of Facebook,
absolutely.
the Dinger Zoo Facebook page. That's the only thing good about Facebook. And it does provide an opportunity because as we were saying before, it's so difficult to break out as a performer right now. You have to have a social media presence. If you don't,
Yeah.
you're only going to tour and it's going to be word of mouth, but no one's going to be spreading your word because they can't tag you in something or they can't.
Yeah.
They
AJ
can't
does an amazing
stalk
job
you.
on her Instagram.
I tried.
Yeah, you do. You do a great job. So, well, awesome. Man, that is such I love the story behind that song.
Yeah.
So we talked about how you go through the writing process. Tell me about how the tour came about. And because one of you must have said, all right, we're going to postpone our jobs for a couple of weeks. And then we're going to go all over because you're going, after you leave here, you're heading up to New York and then you're going to be in Chicago. Where else are you going? And so just tell me where you're going. And then I have a follow-up question.
Yeah. So we're going to head up to Brooklyn. We're going to be playing at Gold Sounds in Brooklyn on the 8th. And then on the 9th, we'll be playing in Greensburg at Green Beacon Gallery. That's a little bit outside of Pittsburgh. And then we'll be going to Chicago and playing at Kitchen 17 on the 11th. And then we'll be heading down to Nashville for a show on the 14th at Vinyl Lounge. And then we'll be going to Rome, Georgia to play with our friends Hey Chroma. They're a band that's played a lot of shows with Necromance, who we're touring with.
Mm-hmm.
Who's our band crush. We're so excited that we're touring with them. So we're going to Rome, Georgia to play with Hey Chroma. And then Atlanta at the Interspace on the 17th, on the 17th. And then Athens at Cine on the 18th.
Nice.
I think I got that right.
Yeah, wow.
Wow, yeah. That's quite a tour. So who brought it up first? Like, we're gonna go on.
I think we always knew that we wanted to go on tour eventually. Like, our goals were make an album and then go on tour for that album. And I guess I feel like it was like the first time we played with Necromance. We were like, we have to tour with them. They're amazing because their sound is a lot like ours. I guess like there's, I mean, it's not the exact same,
but it fits
like the vibe.
To, like some of the other bands we've played with. Like a lot of times people put us on like a punk bill because they look at us and they're like, oh yeah, that's a punk band.
Because they're all girls.
Because they're all girls in a rock band. So they put us on the punk bill and we're like, I mean, people love us, but we don't really fit with this vibe.
We'll play, but we're not necessarily I mean, I don't know what we are, but like we're not what you would expect to like on a punk bill. I don't know, but hey, I mean, fine. I'll take it. It's a compliment.
Yeah, but
a gig's a gig, right?
So, the first time we played with Next, we were like, yeah, this vibe like matches us super well, and we we're like, we should totally go on tour with them at some point. And I don't remember when our first show was with them. I guess this year.
It was in May. I
Yeah.
think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ava and I shared a carrot hot dog together.
You shared a hot dog together?
We shared a
carrot
carrot hot dog because I don't eat meat. So, someone was
it was meant to
bringing
be.
carrot. She brought me to be funny. She brought me a carrot hot dog. One of my friends, and we shared a carrot hot dog. And ever since then, we have been
Now
very,
our
very
bands are officially
close.
married.
Yeah.
Well, that's very
That's a true
sweet
story.
of
Yeah.
her,
Yeah.
the carrot hot dog.
But yeah, Bombay Gasoline really matched our vibe too.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were awesome.
We really want to do like a show trade with them or something and have them come down to Savannah at some point.
They were
because
so much
they were
fun.
So
They were
cool.
so good.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're just in Asheville, so they're not that far from Savannah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly.
Yeah.
And Asheville is such a great town. There's so many awesome venues in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that'd be so
Well,
fun.
For your pits, so we got a number of folks in the Pittsburgh area and in Nashville. We've got a lot of bands there, so I'll make sure that I'm tracking y'all and
Right
getting
on.
the word out.
Sweet.
Thank you.
So many talented artists. Obviously, the Music City in Nashville, but there's a couple of like these pockets of like really super concentrated talent. So I'm learning that Savannah is one of them. So
It really
It
is.
Yeah,
really
there's
is.
a lot of
It's
amazing
insane.
bands from
They're
Savannah.
so good. Yeah.
So, we talked about a little bit about the show last night and like my reaction to the start of The Watcher. But that song is when AJ, you really started to come out. So I just want to talk about this, not to focus in on any one band member, but would it be fair to say that you're the front woman of the band, and that there's a performative part of you that is really draws people in, because I saw what happened in real time. And I've seen your videos before. I knew kind of what to expect, but what I didn't expect was to see what you lose by not being there live, is to see how the crowd just gets closer and closer, and then ultimately, like for Burn, you brought them in, and people were just like falling in love with you in real time. Like it was. And you've got it, and you have such an authentic performance, and I mean that in the most complimentary of ways, where you'll
Thank
see
you.
people. There's this band, I'm not going to mention them, but I mean, if you go, anyways, we're not gonna, they're not in a cult. Maybe I'll text you their name. But so they've got the same shtick, right? Where they're falling all over themselves, like climbing on each other's instruments and making a big show of them falling down, blah, blah, blah. But if you follow them on Instagram, every freaking show they're doing the same shtick. And I saw them live. It ain't real. Like it's not them, really them. It's really you out there.
Thank you.
And it was amazing to watch, and it was amazing to see how the crowd was reacting. And they were like, when you told them to come closer, they were like begging you to tell them to give them permission to be close to you. So I mean, do you have and it's. Do you have like professional training? Like are you
No.
like some type of? I mean, are you an actress before or anything?
No, I did some theater in high school, and took like drama class, and I was in
ballerina, AJ.
drama. Oh well, yeah, there's that story. You know, like my parents put me in dance when I was little, and but I never. I mean, I acted like a little bit on stage in theater, but I was more of a techie. I was like in all black and in the background mostly, but I don't know. Whenever I perform, I I don't try to think about it too much. I don't want to be concerned about how I look or what my movements. I don't know. I just let it come out naturally.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. I just want to be the beast that I am, and just allow myself to just be in the song
Mm-hmm.
and immersed in the song, and whatever happens with my body is what happens, and however I react to the crowd is however I react to the crowd. I used to try to do like little choreographed things, like when we first started the band and we first started performing. I would set up my mic stand in my kitchen, and I would put on like multiple different songs, like, you know, I mean, songs that I love, and I would just practice like how I would perform that song. But it didn't really honestly do very much for me because I felt like it wasn't authentic. And I try to live as authentically as I can just in day-to-day life. And I don't know. I don't like putting on a mask. I don't like putting on a anything fake. It doesn't feel good to me. I'm just not going to do it. So,
well, it looks great.
Oh.
It comes across as extremely
you.
authentic, and very organic. But it also comes across as very intimate. So I wonder, for 50, 100 people, that might be okay. But what are you going to do? Because I suspect, and like I said, I listen to a lot of music that isn't great. Yours is, and that coupled with your performance is, Maxines are really going to take off. What are you going to do when it's 300, 400, 500? Like, do you worry that you're going to lose that intimacy, or are you just going to throw yourself into that environment and say, hair on fire, whatever happens, it's happening?
Yeah, I'm just gonna dive in head first. Literally into the crowd. And I've learned too throughout my life that, like, even if I'm playing to 300, 3,000, 30,000 people, I don't know if it ever gets to that point. I know that if I can get into one person's heart, then that's enough for me.
Mm-hmm.
That makes a big impact.
You've done it. You've done it.
I've done it. Like I'm honored to do what I do. I'm blown away that I get to do this with these three women.
Oh.
And the fact that I get to do that and like get on stage and we all get to just reach into someone's chest and like touch their hearts for like a second or like 30 minutes or 45 minutes. I don't know, however long we're playing is pretty cool. That's enough that's enough.
And
for me
to have fun.
Yeah, and just have fun and spend time together and like develop relationships and make connections like with you and with our fans and with other bands that are so talented, and get inspired by them and the crowd looking at their faces and just seeing their faces. Like, it's just, I mean,
having middle-aged men scream the lyrics of your song back to you, that must have been great.
Awesome.
So awesome.
Oh my God. I was really, really loud during A Letter to a Pill. And
I loved it.
I feel bad because I must have been standing near the recording device because like you can, and I'm like so off key, and it's terrible.
It's so cool seeing people sing our lyrics though.
Yeah.
because
Oh, that's
so
like,
awesome.
Obviously, since we have the album out, people can learn our lyrics are not up yet on Spotify for
Yeah,
some
they're
reason.
taking forever for some reason to get up there.
People are still learning the words and singing along and stuff, and it's just so cool
So
to
cool.
see that. It's really cool. Even if it is off key, we love it. We want to
Yeah.
hear it.
Like for our album release party, I was reposting the videos, and in like every video,
You can hear people
yeah,
screaming.
like the person holding the phone, you could like hear them screaming the lyrics, and like
Yeah.
everyone around them screaming the lyrics, and that for me is like, oh my
Yeah.
god, I can't believe
Okay,
this
so
is-
then I don't feel so bad. Well, I don't know if you could tell when we said goodnight last night. Like I was really amped up. Like I went into it with really high expectations because I've been listening to the album, and and I was really blown away. I mean, I was you guys got to me. So this old jaded cult leader.
Thank you. I'm honored.
Yeah. So, okay. So, what's next? So you're going to do the tour. You're going to go back, take January off, lay down a couple more tracks. Are you going to release them as you finish them, or are you going to save them up and wait until you think you've got a second album complete and then start releasing them, 1, 2, 3, and then release the album, or what's the plan? Because I want a second album.
We
No
have-
pressure, but I need a
We'll
second
have to
album.
see.
Exactly. Well, it's cool because we haven't thought that far ahead
Yeah.
yet. Like we're so excited to start writing new music that we haven't even thought of like anything else yet. We're like just write music. We want to write
Yeah.
music. We want to play more shows.
We kind of like write the songs and then play them live, and then
test them out.
like we
live.
had 6 songs before we recorded, and then we recorded the last 3 separately. So maybe we'll do the same thing, like write 6 new songs before we record. Maybe do a
Yeah.
longer album this time.
Yeah. I would love to have a longer album.
Yeah.
I would love to have like a 12-track album.
Yeah.
I would be
Yeah.
like, God.
Well, if you
amazing.
need someone to listen to it ahead of time, just
Good to know.
I won't share on social media.
I'll give you
So-
some sneak peeks.
Yeah. So this has been great. I know you guys have a show tonight in Chapel Hill, so I want to be respectful of your time. But I mean, it was just amazing meeting you guys last night. And I mean, I can't say any more words about the performance that I haven't already said, but it was truly amazing. Next time you're in town, I am definitely going to be there again, acting like a dumb fool.
Sweet.
Awesome.
And look, let's stay in touch. If there's, be part of the community. I'd rather have you guys rocking and rolling and writing music than goofing around on social media. But I just wish you all the best with the rest of the tour. No breakdowns, no issues.
Thank you.
And hope you get home safe and sound and back to that writing. So
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Thank you.
So yeah, there you go, everyone. The Maxines. Thanks for your time, and all hail Dinger Zoo. All right.